What you're seeing here is something that I do a lot. I'm basically off camera. I'm basically training for the arm wrestling competition. That's kind of what my training has been. I fell into it because of elbow pain. I've realized that these exercises look very, very small, and I would have never guessed they benefit anybody for anything. But these pronation exercises, and this is called rising. No, I'm not an expert at this. This is all very new to me. I've been doing rising for maybe a few weeks now. I've been doing pronation for probably, I don't know, maybe a year or something like that. I love the way it makes me feel. I don't arm wrestle. I've spoken to a few people that do arm wrestle. And obviously for them, these are technical exercises which, improves their positioning when you're arm wrestling. I've kind of learned a little bit about watching it. But I'm here for the side effects of it, for the pronation and the supination. Makes my elbows feel amazing. And when I do that, then I feel really strong in the bench press. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And I've been overdosing like crazy on this. In recent time, I've been doing a lot of calf raises, as you guys can see here. And I've been doing a lot of forearms. Calves and forearms seem to be perfect for me and my personality, if you want to say. Like, I love training every day. I love pushing every day. Doing quads, hamstrings, quads, glutes, whatever, all these big muscles, lats, chest, you can't do them every day. But some of these more endurance-based tissues, they love it. I've been doing calf races, like I said, pretty much most days for the last few weeks. Feel great. I do feel my calves growing. No, they don't look textbook, but I get a pump. And they seem to be responding. So, if you get a pump doing anything else in your training, it's beneficial, right? But it seems like when you do calf raises, a lot of people are like, no, that's incorrect. There's some exercises that people get really anal about. Calf raises, I find, is one of them. Obviously, it's a big topic of discussion because no one has calves. Either you're genetically gifted or you don't have them. And so everyone's got a different idea. I feel like if you feel the damn burn, you're doing something right. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a burn, you're doing something right. So I'm feeling a burn. And for the people that are feeling like it's not good, then maybe the topic of conversation should be how much volume are you doing for some of these tissues? I'm doing pronation one day. I'm doing rising the next day. I'm doing calf raises pretty much every day. And I'm doing a lot of this stuff off camera. I'm sitting in front of the TV. I've got that I did have a dumbbell. Now I've got a plate. And that little strap thing, I've got it in front of my TV. I push it to the side next to the couch. The kids somehow play with the strap as well and whatever. It's kind of part of the living room now. And I sit there and I pronate and I rise. Great pump. Super easy on recovery. Makes my elbows feel amazing. I don't feel any elbow troubles now when I'm low barring or benching. It's amazing. And since, I'm doing all of this stuff and I'm doing a lot of variation now compared to years back, today I was like, why don't I just do some flat foot or flat shoes, no heel squat? And I started doing it. And yes, the heels did rise. Obviously, I've not done a high bar flat foot squat in some time. I don't remember the last time, to be honest. It's always with heels. And the moment I did it, it was like, oh my God, I feel at home. I feel at home. I don't know why. I just feel at home. I feel like I'm balanced. I feel like I'm in a strong position. In heels, I feel like I'm always tipping. I don't understand why. Maybe because my strength is in the posterior chain and the Ollie shoes, they push you into an area where you can't really use the posterior chain. And so like it pushes you into a weakness. Even though I said the 215 high bar squat PR in Ollie shoes, even then, I still don't feel like that's my strongest position. I think it's because my body's so used to doing deadlifts, and that's my strong, movement pattern. And so anytime you kind of get me away from that, whether I'm squatting or deadlifting, I kind of feel a little bit uneasy. But it felt pretty good. I did a 200 kilo today. My adductors are pretty much okay now. I could have done a deadlift session today. I did kind of, in my mind, think about it. But I chose not to do it. I mean, I've got things to watch today. I don't know if you guys are going to watch. Djokovic is actually starting as I'm talking. I'm going to jump in the house right now and watch it. Djokovic and Zverev, and then we got Sinner and is it Ben? What's his name? The American fella, I reckon. He's playing tonight. So lots of that. And in between those two matches, I hope to get in Djuric as well. Djuric versus, who is it? Minnesota, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it's Minnesota. No. Oh my God, who are they playing? I'm stuck now. I've completely forgotten who they're playing. Anyway, I think it's somebody really good. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh my God. So I'm going to jump in the house, do that. And so I didn't have time earlier in the day. Mrs. went out, so I had the kids at home with me. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Tomorrow, I hope I can do a deadlift session. If not, it will be some other day when I have time. But even when I've got the kids with me in the house and we're chilling out, watching whatever, messing around, I can do pronation and rising. It's really cool. Like I really, for some reason, get drawn to these types of methods where you can just do whatever. Greasing the Groove was kind of like that. You know, like I said, I've got 3 kids, man, so I can't just train whenever. Even though it's in the back of my freaking, yard. Getting the kids out, the baby out, all that stuff, it's a bit, crappy. But, if it's right next to me, it's like 2 seconds, no excuse. I love it. And you get a forearm pump and the forearm feels great. And, I don't know. I just love high frequency training. It's probably because I grew up playing basketball and it was like, anytime you can bounce the ball, you should. It just gives that skill acquisition, that field for you. And it's just ongoing. And it just feels great. To do that, you get that feel, and so I've kind of always been drawn to it. And it seems like forearms and calves are my type of tissue because those guys can, withstand Ivan's will for training. And the good thing about all of that is I reckon each of these areas of the body should be trained a lot because they both have huge impacts on the big 3 lifts. The calves, obviously, no one trains them. I think there's something to be said about calves, your stability of the foot. If that's not important, I don't know what else is. Dictates everything that happens at the knee and the hip joint, really. If you have pronated feet, collapsed arches, you're not in the best position. We can all agree on that, I suppose. And then obviously with the forearms, they act on the elbow, act on the wrist. Obviously, everyone uses wrist straps. When they bench, why do they do that? Well, it's great to have stability. And so if you have your inert, your intrinsic, musculature around, your wrist, it makes sense to me. I know a lot of the MMA guys talk about wrist stability and when they're grappling and whatnot. I know boxing, wrists are important as well. If you throw a punch, hit somebody and you freaking completely bend your wrist at the time, you're going to break everything, So wrists are important. It's not sexy stuff, but you can train it all the time, man. It's kind of cool. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.